inspired me to do another book haul, and just like I think last month I did, I'm also going to show you one of my new cats. About 2 months ago, I think already, we got Artorias, and now we also got Mikleo, who really wants to play, so I'm going to let him go. If you, however, though, want to see more of him than this really short moment, I actually made an Instagram page for both of my cats. So Mikleo is a high-mitted blue ragdoll, and Taurus is a non-minted blue ragdoll, and I made an Instagram page for them where I'm uploading photos and videos a couple of times a week. So if you want to know more and see them more, you can check that out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. You can follow if you want, and if you don't want to see any more cats, then I probably won't really show them that much on my YouTube channel. But anyway, today I'm here to do a book haul. Like I said in the previous book haul, this month was my birthday month. I turned 26 on the 25th of July, and I got some books, not too many because some of my friends still actually need to give me their gifts. Some of them still need to arrive, so I will probably show you some more birthday gifts in August. But anyway, let's get started. So before I'm going to show you the birthday gifts, I first have some books that I bought for school. If you don't know, I'm in college. I study to become an English teacher. I am practically done with my first year. It's a bit difficult because I'm actually homeschooled, so when you look at just, courses, I'm almost done with my second year, but because I had some trouble finding an internship place, I'm actually just finishing up my first year internship. So very confusing, but anyway, I have to do some literature and culture courses, and also some history, and I figured that some books would be really useful to just give me a bit more knowledge, because those books are very often referenced to, or in other ways I at least think they will help me during my study. So the first book that I've got to show you right now is The Lady of the Rivers by Philippa Gregory. This is one of her history novels. I just know that she writes about kings and queens of the UK. I also know they are romanticized, so I know that it's not like true history, but at the same time it does follow some of the bigger lines of the things that have happened. So I figured this is a fun and easy way to kind of get to know more about certain periods. You have a couple of different series of her, and they recently kind of changed the whole reading order, and so they merged I think 2 or 3 series together, and if you follow the new reading order, this is the first book that you're supposed to read, so that's why I got this one. I really enjoy the cover, by the way. I don't really mind people on my covers, but I do like the gold accent. So this book is about Jacquetta of Luxembourg, who is probably a queen of England. I don't know exactly what they're about, I just know that it is about courts and England and stuff. So yeah. Now a more serious book about the kings, or actually queens of England, is this book. This is England's Queens, from Boudicca to Elizabeth of York by Elizabeth Norton. I really enjoy the TV series Great British Castles, and during that TV series she actually had a guest there, which is the author of this book, and she really intrigued me with the stories that she was able to tell. So I looked her up, saw that she had written this book, and so I decided to get it. It's really short, but it has a chapter on basically every queen that they had up until Elizabeth of York. Obviously, I mean, it's a bit difficult to look into the future exactly, and I don't know when this book was exactly published, but I'm guessing it's a bit difficult to talk about future queens. But yeah, it basically just has stories about the reign, about what they did, and in the middle you also have some pictures of places that were important to them, or statues or other paintings. And this one I hope will give me like another background into the history of the UK, but a more serious approach than the Philippa Gregory book. Now the next one I'm actually a bit intimidated by. I got The Complete Poems and Songs by Robert Burns. Robert Burns is Scotland's national poet. He was a poet and wrote songs, and I decided to get his complete works because they're actually quite often referenced in the books that I need to read, actually, both for literature and history, and so I decided to get this. But the thing is that he was a Scotsman, and not only is it therefore like Old English, but it's actually also mixed up with some Scottish words, and I'm not very familiar with them. Luckily there is a bit of a list at the back that tells you the meaning of some of the more difficult words, so I'm very excited to try it out, but at the same time I am a bit intimidated by it. And if you guys want to know what it looks like underneath, the dust jacket it looks nothing different. If you are, however, interested in his works, I definitely recommend you to look this book up at Book Depository. Like I said, it's a hardcover, it's a complete work, and it has close to 500 pages, and it was less than €9, so that's pretty cheap, I think. And the next couple of books are books that I need to read for my literature course. So this isn't me wanting to get to know more about certain subjects. These are books that I definitely need to read and that I have an exam on. First of all, I have White Teeth by Zadie Smith. I've got no clue what this one is about. Honestly, I haven't really looked up what my books are about that I need to read for my course, because I know that I need to read them, so it doesn't really matter what they are about because I need to read them. And if you're wondering, cat in the background, that's Artorias, by the way. You will probably see them a lot in my videos because they love walking around, and especially close to me. But anyway, this book is about a man who attempts suicide and apparently fails, and he decides to basically grab his second life by the horns. He marries a woman, Clara Bowden, who is a Caribbean girl of 28, and he is actually 47 years old. And so a tale of friendship, love, war, and 3 cultures and 3 families over 3 generations begin. It sounds pretty interesting. I'm quite happy that I have to read this book. I've been very interested in reading anything by this author because she seems very well loved. So this will be my first ever Zadie Smith book. Next one is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I've wanted to read this book for forever. As you might know, I really enjoy classics, and this is one of the most well-known classics ever. And so I'm very happy that I have to read this one for school. This book follows a black man who is standing trial and a white man who is defending him. I don't know too much else about this book, and I kind of want to go in blind because it seems to be very well loved, and I just want to go in and experience this book without knowing too much about it. But that's what I know about it, and that what I know about it also definitely intrigues me. And the last book that I have to read, or at least the last book that I got that I have to read for school, is Orts and Craig by Margaret Atwood. I've never read anything by Margaret Atwood, and this one sounds completely confusing. It's about a man who... He is the voice of Oryx, who's apparently the woman that he used to love, and he's in bed and he doesn't want to get out, and some green-eyed children are his responsibility or something. I don't really understand what's going on, but I'm excited to read it. I know that a lot of people have really loved The Handmaid's Tale, and I'm excited to read that one too, but first I'm going to try this one. Next up, I've got 3 books that I bought myself just for fun. First of all, I've got Summer Shadows by Joss Sterling. It's a bit difficult to see because the cover is very white. This is the 6th and final book in the Benedict series. You first have the 3 books, which is the original Benedict trilogy, and then she decided to write 3 more books. And in this book, you follow a couple of young people. In the first book, you follow mostly girls and boys. In the second book, you follow mostly just the girls. But these people are kind of special. They're actually savants, which means that they are born with a certain power. And you also have a soul finder, which is basically your perfect mate. And when you meet and use telepathy, you know that that person is the perfect person for you. And after that, you also are able to use like better powers, more powers. Your powers will become stronger and you can do different new stuff. And in every book you basically follow a girl who falls in love with a boy who is also her soul finder, and this one is the last one. This one follows a girl named Summer, and I'm totally intrigued by her. She is also around in the previous 2 books in the second kind of trilogy, and it's kind of hinted at that her life back at home is kind of dark or difficult or something. I don't know exactly what, and also that her power is kind of dark and creepy. It's very vague. It has never really fully been explained in the previous books, so I'm very excited to finally find out what is going on. Next book is The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. This is a second book in the Raven Cycle series. I have not read the first book yet, though I do own it, but this one you could get with a discount for the Booktubeathon. At first I figured I was going to participate, but then I figured that I was actually way too busy to be able to participate, but I still decided to get this book because it was so cheap. So now I can at least read the first and second book back to back. I hope to read the first book sometime soon because I've heard so many people talking about it, and it seems to be a very well loved series, although also a lot of people seem to have some issues with it. But I'm just mostly very excited to try that series out. And another book that I got for the Booktubeathon is the second book in the Wrath and the Dawn duology. This is The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ali. This book is the second and final book in this duology. The first book is about a girl who marries this prince, and this prince kills his new bride every morning, so every day he weds a new one, and one of his previous brides was actually her best friend, so she's there to basically get revenge, but then she falls in love with him, and it turns out that not everything is as it seems. I really enjoyed the first book, so I had to get this one, and I was actually planning to buy this earlier, but for whatever reason I didn't do it, and then it was there with discount, so I'm actually pretty happy that I got it now, because obviously it's cheaper. The only thing that is kind of bugging me is the fact that, you know, the cover matches, actually the height also matches, and it's the same publisher, everything, but the material of the cover is totally different. This one is so shiny, the other one isn't shiny, but you know, choose your battles, I guess. And lastly, I've got two books that I got for my birthday. First of all is a book that I got from Veronica over at Story Island. I will leave a link to her channel down below. She's another Dutch booktuber, and we are also friends in real life. And she got me Stranger Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I really enjoyed Laini Taylor's Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, and so I am really excited to read this one. I've heard some people saying that it was really confusing. Other people seem to really love it. Hopefully I'm in the loving it side, but we will see. So far at least I really love the cover. I really prefer this one over the other one. I think it's just absolutely stunning. It's once again also massive. It seems like every Laini Taylor book is massive. So hopefully I will be able to read it sometime soon, but who knows, it's kind of big. And the last book that I've got to show you is The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. This book I got from my mother and sister-in-law. They gave me the first book actually last year for my birthday, so I asked them if they could get me the second book in this duology for this birthday, and they did. And I'm so excited. I've already read this book. I really enjoyed it. I really loved the first book too. It is an alternate Russia where there's actually magic, though the people don't really know there's still magic, but you have this kind of game, which is the Crowns game, where if you have more than one enchanter in your kingdom, you have to fight each other to the death. Because in every country you have this maximum amount of magic. So if you have two people who are using this magic, they will each get 50%. However, if you only have one person who can use the magic, they will have the full 100%. And the Tsar needs this court magician, and so he decides to activate the Crown's game. And in this Crown's game, you have two people. You have Vika, who is a girl, and Nikolai, who is a boy, and they need to kill each other. There's no way out of this game. One of them has to die, and then they fall in love. It was so good, the first book, and the second book was just as good, and I'm so excited to finally have like a real physical copy on my shelves. I will probably reread this book sometime soon because I loved it so much. And if you enjoy magic and Russia and drama and romance and just all the good stuff, I highly recommend you to pick up this duology. So this was my book haul for the month of July. I don't think my book haul will be as big in August, but like I said, I'm still expecting some more birthday presents, so who knows? We will see. Anyway, I would love to hear from you if you have read any of the books I just showed you in the comment section down below, but please without spoilers, because for the biggest part, I haven't even read them yet, so no spoilers. But I hope to see you all with my next video. If you enjoyed this one, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Bye guys, have a great day.